Everyone's talking about Hollywood blockbusters, but you're missing out on the Korean action films that actually redefine the genre. These hidden gems are stylish, brutal, and unforgettable. And by the end, you'll wonder how you didn't see them sooner. Number 12. Fabricated City. Imagine waking up one day to find your whole life has been destroyed, your name ruined, your freedom taken away, and everyone thinking you're a killer. That's the nightmare facing Kwon Yu, a poor gamer who suddenly finds himself locked up for a crime he didn't do. With everyone thinking he's a monster, his only hope comes from an unlikely group, his online gaming friends. Together they use their computer skills to fight back against a powerful plot, turning their virtual battles into real-world fights. What makes Fabricated City so intense isn't just the explosive action, but how it mixes gaming strategy with real-life survival tactics. It's stylish, fast-paced, and a harsh reminder of how easily the powerless can be crushed by corruption. Number 11. The Swordsman. Set in the falling Joseon dynasty, the Swordsman follows Seoul, a retired royal bodyguard who only wants a quiet life with his daughter. But peace never lasts. As his eyesight gets worse, his daughter is kidnapped by foreign invaders, forcing him to pick up his sword one final time. What follows is a storm of amazing sword fights where every swing feels like it could be his last. Seoul isn't fighting for glory, he's fighting for love, and that desperation shows through every battle. Even with his vision failing, his skill makes him unstoppable, cutting a path through soldiers and warlords alike. This film is both brutal and beautiful, filled with sweeping landscapes, honor, sacrifice, and a father's unbreakable love. If you thought blindness would slow him down, think again. Number 10. A Company Man. On the outside, Hyun-doo looks like any other guy in a suit going to work. Calm, professional, and good at his job. But behind that neat tie and polished look is something much more dangerous. He's actually a hired killer, working for a company that hides murders by making them look like regular business deals. Every person he has to kill is just another job, and every murder is approved like normal office paperwork. For years, he's followed the company's rules, cold, robotic, and never asking questions. But everything changes when he meets the widow of a coworker he once killed. For the first time, Hyun-doo feels bad about what he's done and starts to dream of a life outside these bloodstained office cubicles. That dream, however, comes with a deadly price. Because in this company, quitting isn't allowed. It means they'll kill you. Suddenly, the hunter becomes the hunted, betrayed by his own bosses, and forced to fight for freedom against the same system that created him. A Company Man mixes smart corporate imagery with explosive, bone-crushing action, creating a story that's as stylish as it is sad. Number 9. The Suspect. Jae Dong-chul was once the pride of North Korea's intelligence, but when betrayal costs him his family, he escapes to the south, living as a ghost, alone, broken, and always looking over his shoulder. His nightmare grows when he's framed for killing a high-profile figure, instantly branded as a traitor and runaway. With both governments hunting him, his only weapon is the training that made him deadly in the first place. The result? Non-stop chase scenes, bone-crushing fights, and an emotional story about a man with nothing left but revenge. What makes The Suspect different is its raw humanity. You're not just watching a spy thriller. You're watching a father who lost everything, and every move he makes is driven by that pain. Number 8. The Berlin File. In Berlin's shadowy underworld, a high-stakes weapons deal falls apart, exposing North Korean spy Pyo Jong-shin and his wife. Betrayed, hunted, and trapped in a foreign land, they find themselves caught in a web of assassins, double crosses, and governments ready to burn them alive for convenience. What sets the Berlin File apart is its worldwide scope. Gunfights across famous European backdrops, deadly rooftop escapes, and tension dripping from every encounter. But beneath the explosions lies something more personal: loyalty. Who do you trust when even your own government marks you as disposable? Pyo and his wife aren't just running from enemies. They're running from the very system they once served. The movie delivers everything from spy suspense to chaotic street warfare, proving Korean cinema can rival Hollywood's biggest spy thrillers. Number 7. The Gangster, the Cop, the Devil. Picture this: a feared gangster barely survives an attack from a random serial killer. Furious and embarrassed, he wants revenge, but he knows he can't hunt the man down alone. Enter young Tisia, a hot-headed detective who hates everything this gangster stands for. The two form an uneasy partnership built on mistrust, ego, and pure desperation. What follows is a brutal, high-stakes manhunt where every lead could explode into violence. The fights are savage, the dialogue sharp, and the moral lines blur at every turn. Watching a gangster and a cop share information while secretly plotting against each other makes every scene unpredictable. unpredictable. And when fists finally fly, the impact is unforgettable. The gangster, the cop, the devil is crime drama, serial killer thriller, and buddy cop chaos all rolled into one. Alright, quick pause. Before we jump into number 6, I've got a question for you. What world of cinema should we explore next? Your suggestion could inspire the next countdown. Number 6, The Yellow Sea. Gunnam is a taxi driver drowning in debt, abandoned by luck and haunted by his missing wife. Desperate, he accepts a deadly job, travel from Yeonji to Seoul, kill a target, and his gambling debts disappear. But nothing goes as planned. The hit spirals into chaos, leaving him hunted by gangs, cops, and shadows he can't escape. What makes The Yellow Sea devastating is its raw honesty. There are no heroes, only survivors clinging to life in a world stacked against them. Every chase feels frantic, every fight soaked in blood and hopelessness. Beneath the carnage lies something even heavier. Gunnam's search for his wife, a fragile hope buried beneath endless violence. This film isn't just action, it's a gut punch, a reminder of how desperation twists people into tools for the powerful. Number 5, The Roundup. Detective Mae Seok-do is back, and this time, the fight takes him outside of Korea. What starts as a simple trip to Vietnam, meant only to bring home a criminal on the run, turns into something much darker. Ma discovers a brutal criminal gang run by Kang Hee-sang, a heartless predator who targets innocent Korean tourists in other countries. Suddenly, this isn't just about police work. It's about stopping a monster who feeds on fear and violence. And as always, Ma doesn't come with gentle moves. His fists are as direct as his jokes, punching through bad guys and solving the case with that unstoppable mix of toughness and charm. The fights are bigger, the danger is higher, and every battle feels like an earthquake. The Roundup doesn't just build on the outlaws, it takes everything to the next level. Over-the-top action, worldwide thrills, and Don Lee's amazing screen presence make this sequel a powerful crowd pleaser that never slows down. Number 4, The Villainess. Seok has known nothing but violence since childhood. Trained as a weapon, she's recruited by South Korea's intelligence agency and promised freedom after 10 years of service. But freedom is a lie, and her past refuses to let her go. What makes The Villainess unforgettable are its insane, groundbreaking action scenes. A dizzying first-person opening raid, a motorcycle sword fight, and dance-like shootouts that feel like nightmares painted in neon and blood. It's not just action, it's poetry written in violence. But beneath the spectacle lies tragedy. A woman who wants to love, to live, to be human, yet is dragged back into a cycle of betrayal and revenge. The Villainess doesn't just entertain, it redefines what action cinema can look like. Number 3, The Front Line. As the Korean War drags on into its final months, peace seems almost possible. A ceasefire is coming soon, but on one small, blood-covered hill, the fighting only gets more brutal. This piece of land, constantly switching between enemies, becomes the place for endless loss, where winning is measured not by land taken, but by lives lost. Into this mess comes Lieutenant Kang, sent not just to fight, but to look into rumors of betrayal within his own team. What he finds is much more complicated than backstabbing. His old friend Kim now leads the tired soldiers who are stuck in this never-ending cycle of death and survival. And in the middle of the gunfire and mud, something amazing happens. Soldiers from both sides secretly trade letters, fragile reminders that underneath the uniforms and beliefs, they are just men wanting to go home. The Front Line is not just a war movie, it's a deep look at loyalty, right and wrong, and the unclear lines between friend and enemy, leaving us to wonder what anyone is really fighting for. Number 2, I Saw the Devil. This is not a movie for people who can't handle scary stuff. When a top-secret agent's girlfriend is killed by a twisted murderer, he doesn't just want revenge. He wants to completely destroy his enemy's spirit. Instead of killing him, he hunts him down, catches him, hurts him, and lets him go, over and over again. What happens next is a mind game where the hunter and the hunted switch rolls in a never-ending circle of cruelty. The violence is very graphic, but the real scary part is watching the good guy slowly turn into the same monster he's trying to stop. I Saw the Devil isn't just a revenge movie. It's a deep look at being obsessed, dealing with loss, and the terrible price of getting back at someone. It makes you wonder, when does trying to get justice turn into doing evil? This is one of the darkest Korean action movies ever made, and once you've watched it, you'll never forget it. Number 1, The Man from Nowhere. Cha Tae-sik is a pawn shop owner living like a ghost, completely cut off from the world. His only connection is a young girl who sees the good in him when no one else does. But when she's kidnapped by a crime group, Tae-sik's quiet life falls apart. His dark past comes back as he goes on a non-stop mission to rescue her and get revenge, fighting his way through human traffickers, gangs, and corrupt people with cold, unstoppable skill. What makes The Man from Nowhere amazing isn't just the incredible action, it's the emotion. Every brutal fight is driven by one man's desperate try to make things right by saving the the only person who believed in him. It's emotional, violent, and unforgettable, making it the best movie of Korean action cinema. If you watch just one movie from this list, make it this one. It's not just action, it's a story about a person fighting their way back from a very dark place.